Hey Bearcat fans, this is Thomas Holland, Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Media. Welcome to the latest edition of the Bearcat Coaches Show. My first guest today will be men's soccer coach Lee Squires. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Good morning.
So let's talk about last week. Nice 2-1 win over Flagler. Always tough playing the Saints. Talk about how the team played and not so ideal conditions, having to move the game up last minute because of the hurricane. Move it up 2 hours to a 1 o'clock start time.
Yeah, it was a good, intense, physical Peach Belt battle. We know we've kind of, the first quarter of the season we were scoring goals in bunches. The next quarter of the season we stopped scoring but kept keeping clean sheets. So the idea was to try and find a blend and a balance of the two to limit their opportunities but try and score those multiple goals to make games a little bit more comfortable. Got off to a great start, went 1-0 up. They scored a good goal themselves, to be fair, which is I think the first goal we've conceded in 5 games. But then quickly, I think within 2 or 3 minutes, we got our noses back in front. I think we could have stretched the lead in the second half to make it a little bit more comfortable, but they kept hanging around and we kept them hanging around. But overall, just delighted with the 3 points in the Peach Belt against a good team, and knowing that we had the weekend off, it was important that we won the game because we didn't want to sit for a week without those 3 points. So big win, good performance, and a lot to build from.
Yeah, and you brought it up. Flagler scored the first goal against you guys in 5-6 games. How has the defense been playing over that span, and have you had to make any adjustments after early in the season?
Yeah, early on, we were conceding goals, but we weren't too dissatisfied with the overall defensive performance of the team. It was, a few isolated incidents, a lack of focus at the wrong time or a lack of execution in a key moment, more on an individual level. I think the team shape and the team structure has been good. So it was just bringing those guys in, analysing the mistakes that we've made, and to their credit, they've dialed up that focus. They've been a bit cleaner, in and around our own penalty box. To eliminate those errors. And when you keep teams to not just shutouts but very few shots on goal, Lorenzo Ferrari coming in has made a big difference as well. But our team defending has not been too bad all season. I just don't think we've got the rewards for that. But yeah, we've tightened things up on that end, and then against Flagler we got the multiple goals we were looking for, and hopefully that's the benchmark for games to come.
Absolutely. No rest for the weary. 2 big Peach Belt games this week. USC Aiken midweek. You guys scored late to beat the Pacers at their place earlier in the season. Then Young Harris coming up on Saturday. Always a tough draw for you guys. Top 2 teams the last 4 or 5 years in the conference. Just talk about the preparation for both those teams.
It's been nice this weekend. We got a little bit of good fortune with the schedule. We didn't have to reschedule anything or postpone anything this weekend. It was our off weekend, so the boys had 3 or 4 days to kind of rest and recover, and we had a good session yesterday. We'll have another one today before a tough match against Aiken, kind of the local rivals, in the Peach Belt, and they'll be fighting and scrapping to make the conference tournament. So, and anytime you're top of the league, you have a target on your back, and people want to take that scalp. So, yeah, for us, preparation is normal. Maybe a little bit of rust early on, with having a week off, but we want to shake that off as quickly as possible to try and get our noses in front, and then hopefully, make the game in our favour for, as much of it as possible, and come out with that 3 points. And then we know that Young Harris away is always tough, but we'll take one game at a time. We'll focus on Aiken first, try and secure those 3 points, and then rest and recover and put a plan together for Young Harris, which we know will be difficult.
All right, well, Coach, thanks for joining us today, and good luck this week, and we'll talk to you later. Bearcats fans, stay tuned after these messages from our sponsors. We'll be back with our next guest.
As the holiday season rolls around, please consider supporting Lander University Athletics on Giving Tuesday, November 29th. With over 740 student athletes and 23 sports programs, Lander Athletics aims to build on the tradition of successes from the first 3 years of the Lander Athletics Giving Tuesday initiative that has raised around $250,000 to ensure Bearcat sports programs continue to thrive in the classroom, excel in competition, and develop tight community bonds in Greenwood, South Carolina. Each sports program has tailored their own goals for Giving Tuesday to address unique needs that they hope to fulfill in order to enhance the overall success of their program and to further Lander University Athletics' mission. Those interested in supporting Lander Athletics Giving Tuesday can visit landerbearcats.com for more information. Online donation pages will be available to accept gifts starting Tuesday, November 8th.
Welcome back, fans. Again, this time I'm joined by women's rugby coach Kim Pape. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah,
Glad to talk to you. So just, I guess, 3 games last week, but against one opponent. Newberry, first-year program, got 3 good wins in the 7s. Talk about the team's performance on Sunday after not knowing whether or not you'd get to play because of the hurricane.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the great part of it was the staff over at Newberry worked really well with the staff over here, so we were able to make things work. You know, we want to get that game in. We were actually their first home game ever, so that was really exciting. You know, we love to play the road of a spoiler, so the game went kind of according to our plan, which was to be aggressive around the breakdown, force them to make mistakes, and then capitalize on those mistakes. We scored, I think, around 70-something points, and in those 70 points, I would say 2/3 of those were from a turnover ball. So game plan went according to plan.
Okay, good. So that brings us to this week. You had a big game with the Citadel on Saturday in Charleston. What are some key factors for your team going up against the Citadel? I know it's a big rivalry.
Yeah, this is a big rivalry for us. They're an in-state program. They've come to our house twice now. You know, us going over to them to return the favor again on their friends and family weekend. So, you know, we love playing that role. You know, so we're going to go down there. This is going to be the first game that we're 90% healthy.
Okay.
So we've got everybody back. We're looking to use this game to catapult us into league play with the likes of Westchester, Queens, and such. But they're not a team to be overlooked. They're going to be fit. They're going to be physical. They're going to be strong, and they always are. And they always put a really strong game against us. The score never really dictates the game in these two teams when these two teams play. But I think that our back line is going to overwhelm them, and we've just got speed for days out there, which is going to cause them a lot of headaches.
Okay. That's good to know. Good luck this weekend. Thanks for joining us. Glad to get an update. And we'll talk to you soon. And,
Sounds great.
We'll be back in just a few minutes after our sponsors. This is the Bearcat Coaches Show.
If you're looking for a place to enjoy good eats and good times, look no further than Sports Break. Great food, friendly service, and a fun atmosphere have been on the menu since 1990. So bring the family by for lunch, stop in to watch a game, or enjoy a late night with friends with some cold drinks while listening to live music at Sports Break.
Welcome back to the Bearcats Coaches Show. I'm joined by head men's tennis coach Brett Simpson. Coach, thanks for joining us today. Fall season's been going on for a month and a half now. How's the team been doing so far this fall?
Yeah, we've had a pretty good fall. We've had 3 events, so we've had some good match play. Our regional, our ITA Southeast Regional is probably the biggest event of the fall for us. And we had some good performances, some good individual performances. So Hugo Ragnier got to the semis in singles. We had Matthew DeGroot and Hugo Ragnier semi-finalists in doubles. So we had some really strong individual results. And the fall is more about individual tournaments for us than team. But, you know, it's important that we send messages to the other teams that, you know, we're here to play and we're doing good and that we'll be a force in the spring.
Right, that's definitely true. And you wrap up your fall competitive season this weekend. You're hosting the Lander Invitational here in Greenwood. Give us a little preview of what fans can expect when they're out there watching you guys play.
Okay, yeah, it's actually going to be a pretty strong event. We've got some good teams. We got Wingate, Georgia College, Augusta, Lee University, and Belmont Abbey. We got and ourselves, obviously. We got a pretty strong field, so it's going to be a lot of important regional matches that have significance with rankings. 48 players roughly, so it's going to be a lot of tennis this weekend, but it's going to be a good event. We had it last year as well, and it went well, and this year we got some more interest, so looking forward to it.
That's good. To wrap up, let's give us a little preview of the spring. Obviously, you're still several months away, but obviously we play in the Peach Belt, one of the toughest tennis conferences in the region, if not the country.
For sure.
So how's the team going forward towards the spring?
Yeah, it's always formidable, the Peach Belt Conference. So there's nowhere to hide there. If you're not playing good, you're going to lose. So we're wary of that. We work hard in the fall. We try to get things going. So we're going to be ready in the spring. You're looking at possibly 3 of our conference foes in the top 10 in the nation. Columbus State will be ranked very high. Flagler, number 4 last year. North Georgia were a top 10 team as well. So we're looking to chase those guys, try to get some wins and get ourselves in the top 10. It's tough. There's no easy matches, and you can't slip up. You can't take a bad loss either. So, our guys are pretty experienced. So they know what to expect. They know what I expect of them, and they know what they expect of themselves. They've got high standards, so we're going to give our best shot. Our goal will be to win the conference. It's not going to be an extremely strong ask, but if you're going to probably need to be top 2 or 3 in the nation to win our conference. That's what we're up against, and obviously down the road looking to make the NCAA tournament and make a run there. So that's the goal every year. So we're going to continue to pursue that.
All right, sounds good, Coach. Thanks for joining us today. Enjoyed getting to talk to you, hear about the men's tennis team this fall. We'll be right back after these messages on the Bearcat Coaches Show.
Break on the Lake offers a menu loaded with a wide range of delicious seafood and steaks, along with an amazing selection of handcrafted cocktails. From appetizers to soups and salads, Break on the Lake's food is served with an intimate space perfect for a cozy meal with family or a quiet date night. Whatever you're here for, you can always count on Break on the Lake for fresh seafood and a warm welcome from their team. Thanks to Sports Break and Break on the Lake, proud sponsors of Bearcat Athletics.
Welcome back, Bearcat fans. I'm joined now by field hockey head coach Robert Schink. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Just one game last week, thanks to the Hurricane. A tough loss against a tough Limestone team. Talk about the game. Obviously, played the Saints very hard, but it came up just short.
Yeah, correct. I think we dominated the first quarter, and they just surprised us. They put so much energy in that game, and energy sometimes wins the match. So well done to Limestone in that way. We're still learning. We're still a new group, but I think it was a necessary beat that we had to take.
Okay. Yeah. Now, also last week, Frederique Vanderhouwen made her season debut. Talk about the impact she made leading the team in shots that game.
Yeah, no, it was very, very great to have Frederique playing with us. She's a great and huge impact for the team, very helpful. She has a great pass in herself, as you can see through the stats as well. So she's a huge help in midfield, trying to reach out to the forwards and find those.
So coming up this week, 2 games. First, tomorrow on the road at Mount Olive, another conference opponent. Talk about the Trojans and the preparation the team's been making.
Yes, Mount Olive is looking really strong. They are a quality team. They are well coached. Looking at their games, it's going to be a feisty one, very aggressive on both ends. But yeah, no, it's the Dutch coach, similar situation that I know Daan very well, and I'm looking very forward for this game. I think it's 2 Titans playing each other, so I'm looking forward to it.
And then the big game coming up Saturday, first home game in field hockey history at Lander.
Yep.
Taking on Lincoln Memorial, already defeated the Rail Splitters 7-0 earlier in the season. Talk about the excitement for the team and also yourself and the fans being able to finally play a home game.
Yeah, like you said, it's the first in history to play at home. I'm looking forward to it, of course. The only thing is we can't underestimate them. Although, you maybe have won them before. It's a quality team. They go hard. But I'm looking forward to play for our own home crowd. hopefully we get some Lander personnel coming over, some fans, and it's going to be a great match.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. Good luck this week. And
Thank you.
We'll see you at Saturday for the first home game.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Thomas Holland. We'll be back after these few messages.
Open since 1959, the Dixie Drive-In is home to the Dixie Cheese. A short-order restaurant with a family-friendly atmosphere, the Dixie Drive-In offers comfort foods like burgers, fries, and sweet tea. Located across the street from the Jeff May Complex at 600 Montague Avenue, be sure to plan your post-game meal at the Dixie Drive-In.
Welcome back, Bearcats fans. This is Thomas Holland. I'm joined now by women's head soccer coach, Chris Ayer. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Just one game last week, unfortunately. Game Saturday against Albany State was postponed due to the hurricane. So just one game on the road, a 1-1 draw with a tough North Georgia team. How did you think the team played down in Dahlonega?
Yeah, I think the girls played really well. Did exactly what we had worked on all week. Kept possession, had opportunities. Ball hasn't fallen in the back of the net for us as many times as we would have wanted it to this year, but played really hard. Was a really good game.
So going forward this week, you've got two games. Wednesday, midweek game versus Clayton State, and then on the road traveling to Flagler, always a tough team. Defense has been playing extremely well, allowing less than a goal a game. What's the mindset headed into this week as we head down the stretch, the last few weeks of the season?
Yeah, I think we're in a good spot. Clayton and Flagler played yesterday. Clayton actually beat Flagler 3-0, so they're coming into the game pretty hot and had a really good result. Very good team. Both teams are fantastic. They both have different kinds of weapons and different styles of play, and we've got to be ready we've got to be ready for both of those. So it's a good week for us to really settle in. Like I said, I think the defense has been playing really well all year. As a team, tactically, I think we've been in the right spots. The ball just hasn't always gone to the back of the net for us. And I think if we can start scoring some more goals, I think it'll be a great run for us.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck this week, and we'll check in with you again soon. And we'll be back in a few minutes after a message from our sponsors.
If you're looking for a place to enjoy good eats and good times, look no further than Sports Break. Great food, friendly service, and a fun atmosphere have been on the menu since 1990. So bring the family by for lunch, stop in to watch a game, or enjoy a late night with friends with some cold drinks while listening to live music at Sports Break.
Welcome back, Bearcat fans. I'm joined now by women's tennis coach Samantha Pinchoff. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here. So how's the fall been going with the team so far?
Fall's been good. We started off the Limestone Invitational, and we were undefeated in singles, which was really good. Got rained out, so we've got to finish it late October, but it was definitely a good start. We followed it up with the Belmont Abbey Invitational, and then we went to ITAs. ITAs was pretty eye-opening. I think every team has brought in a lot of good players on the women's side in this region. So we definitely have our work cut out for us, but it's not something that we're afraid of, and we're excited about it.
Good. So this weekend, you're hosting, along with the men, the Bearcat Invitational.
Lander Invitational.
Lander
Okay.
Invitational. So coming in, I know on the men's side, Coach Simpson said there are a lot of tough teams. I'm sure on the women's side as well. Give us a little preview of what the fans can expect this weekend.
Yeah, so this year we were fortunate enough to have a lot of different teams show interest in participating. And so we have a pretty high level of players coming. We have 48 players total in the tournament on both men and women's side. So we're really excited. We're starting Friday with doubles, followed by singles, and then Saturday with 2 singles. So it's going to be long days, but again, I'm excited for the girls to see that level of competition. The more we can see it, the better we're going to be prepared for the spring. And that's really our main focus, and to use the fall to best prepare us for the spring.
Well, and to piggyback on that, how do you think the team has done this fall in preparation for the spring? Obviously, Peach Belt, a tough conference, but how's the team going forward for the spring?
Yeah, so, at the beginning of the year, we have a clear path to regionals. This year more than ever before, and so as a team we really talked about that, but we have our work cut out for us, and we really have to get match tough. I think that's one of the biggest things we've got to focus on, and so the more matches we play, the better. And so that's really been our focus, and using the fall to best prepare that. But I'm excited for the spring. The Peach Belt is a tough conference. Our region is pretty tough. But I think this year, more than ever, like I said before, we have huge opportunities to make waves. Last year, we were nationally ranked for the first time, and so we really want to keep building on that. And just keep progressing forward. And so the girls are pumped. So we're just keeping our head down and we're working our butts off, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, that's great. Thanks for joining us, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
In the Lander Invitational.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Break on the Lake offers a menu loaded with a wide range of delicious seafood and steaks, along with an amazing selection of handcrafted cocktails. From appetizers to soups and salads, Break on the Lake's food is served with an intimate space perfect for a cozy meal with a family or a quiet date night. Whatever you're here for, you can always count on Break on the Lake for fresh seafood and a warm welcome from their team. Thanks to Sports Break and Break on the Lake, proud sponsors of Bearcat Athletics.
Welcome back, Bearcat fans. I'm joined now by men and women's cross country and track and field coach Kevin Scola. Coach, welcome.
How you doing?
Good. So last time out, a couple of weeks ago, finally got some runners back out that you
Yes.
were counting on. How did that go at the Converse Invitational?
It was phenomenal to finally see, after literally 3 years of waiting, Jonathan Sessions got to run a race. He's had some injury issues recently, and recently being the last 2 years. So to finally get him out there and show that is a talent that's really going to be helping us in the future. Jamie Towns was a big help getting out there, and the other guys continue to improve. You saw PRs out of Hunter Harding, Riley Bird, and Ethan Waits. They all look excellent.
That's great. You mentioned a few names. Who on both teams were some of your standout runners?
Gabby Hart looked excellent at that race. It was wonderful to see the way she's bounced back this season. Mary O'Toole's starting to come along. She had a great workout this morning. She'll be getting in her first race this weekend. And on the guys' side, again, it was, Hunter's been leading us so far this season as a freshman, and he's starting to look better and better.
Okay, great. You mentioned this week coming up, you guys are racing at the Kia McMillan
Yes.
Invitational, kind of a staple on your schedule here recently. How do you think having a good knowledge of the course and racing there every year is going to help?
It's been a huge help. That race in general, it's 3 2,000-meter loops. So you get to see the athletes more times as they come past. They can communicate with them more during the race. And just seeing them be able to understand what's going to happen, they get more familiar with it as the race goes on. What we've actually seen in the last several years is a couple women that will run their 5,000-meter PR en route to the full 6K.
That's great. So last thing, obviously, track and field, inaugural season coming up here in the spring. Tell us a little bit how preparation has been going with that.
They've been looking excellent. I give a lot of assistance there, a lot of credit there to the assistants. Candy Lockett has been handling the throwers, and she's doing a great job with them. And Sharika Hemmings has been working with the sprinters. I think those two groups should be able to help us out and get a lot of points come the season. And then looking at some of the distance guys and women to be able to help us out too. Jamie Towns is another one. He's looking very strong when he gets out there and runs, and that's somebody that can really do some damage in the 800 this year.
Okay, great. Well, Coach, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Looking forward to some good times, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Again, this is the Bearcat Network. We'll be back in a few minutes after a word from our sponsors.
As the holiday season rolls around, please consider supporting Lander University Athletics on Giving Tuesday, November 29th. With over 740 student athletes and 23 sports programs, Lander Athletics aims to build on the tradition of successes from the first 3 years of the Lander Athletics Giving Tuesday initiative that has raised around $250,000 to ensure Bearcat sports programs continue to thrive in the classroom excel in competition, and develop tight community bonds in Greenwood, South Carolina. Each sports program has tailored their own goals for Giving Tuesday to address unique needs that they hope to fulfill in order to enhance the overall success of their program and to further Lander University Athletics' mission. Those interested in supporting Lander Athletics Giving Tuesday can visit landerbearcats.com for more information. Online donation pages will be available to accept gifts starting Tuesday, November 8th.
Welcome back, Bearcats fans. I'm joined now by women's volleyball coach Jeff Reynolds. Coach, welcome to the show.
Good, thank you.
Congratulations. Nice 2-0 week last week. Could have been 3-0, but one game against Augusta postponed because of the hurricane, but we're still able to play one against the Jaguars. Last Tuesday, a 3-0 win, non-conference against Newberry, and then obviously the 3-2 win. One of the most exciting matches I've seen. Back and forth between the top two teams in the conference. Bearcats came out on top, moved into first place. Tell us a little bit about last week and how the team handled both games.
Yeah. Well, it was a little interesting. Newberry being out of conference, they're actually a really good team, and I think they're probably one of the top teams in Conference Carolinas right now, and I think they would probably be ranked regionally as far as that goes. So that was a nice win for us on the road, and picking that up. They presented some challenges for us. I think the team responded well, and it was a nice team win for us. Then again, we started planning for 2 matches against Augusta, but Hurricane Ian had other plans, and so out of in a precautionary state, the school canceled classes on Friday, which meant all activities were canceled as well. So, we kind of went back and regrouped and got ready for Saturday to play them on Saturday, which, like you said, was probably one of the most back and forth exciting games. It was, fans would call it exciting, coaches would call it frustrating. But we had our chances in set 4 to put them away, and they did a nice job serving against us, and it caused us some problems, and we had to go into a 5th set, which I was a little worried about that after their big come-from-behind thing win there in set 4. So we did a nice job putting it together and battling through that, and came out with a big win for our program.
Absolutely. Always great to be in first place. Granted, you want to be in first place at the end of the season.
Correct, yeah.
Again, light week this week, just one game. You guys traveled to Flagler on Friday to take on the Saints. Swept Flagler early in the season. Here, 2 tough matches.
Yeah.
What does the team need to do on Friday to try to pick up the program's first 3-game winning streak against the Saints?
That's a great question, and we're spending the week trying to figure that out. We've got some young ladies that are trying to heal up from injuries, and some kind of serious, and some just nagging, and so we're trying to get that kind of all figured out as we go into the weekend. It's a long trip down there. That's a tough place to play. Their students come out, and it's a small gym, and it's loud, and it's a tough environment. And so, beating a team twice, we've got to remember that doesn't mean anything right now. We're going down there, and we're just looking at that game, and we're going to try to take care of business in that one game, and then worry about all the other stuff after that. So it's just going to take a higher level of focus.
Well, good luck this
you.
week. Looking forward to the big game on Friday, and we'll talk to you again soon. We'll be back in a few minutes after a word from our sponsors.
Open since 1959, the Dixie Drive-In is home to the Dixie Cheese. A short-order restaurant with a family-friendly atmosphere, the Dixie Drive-In offers comfort foods like burgers, fries, and sweet tea. Located across the street from the Jeff May Complex at 600 Montague Avenue, be sure to plan your post-game meal at the Dixie Drive-In.
Welcome back, Bearcats fans. My last guest of the day, men's rugby coach Buck Billings. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So last time out, you got your first conference win against the Citadel, pretty dominating win.
How did you feel the team handled the emotions to be able to pull off that win?
Well, we know when we play the Citadel, they're going to be very physical. It's a well-coached program. They're kind of our rivals, but we're also like brothers. We get after it on the field, and as soon as the game's over, we really enjoy, our spending time together. So it is an emotional game, but the guys kept it together. They played a great match, and we were able to get on the board quick with a hard run by Kerry Cortez, and that sort of set the tone for the match for us. Offensively, our attack was the best it's been all season. Defensively, we kind of reciprocated on that and had a great defensive showing as well. So I was really proud of the men.
That's great. Talk a little bit about who some of those key players were in that win.
So our Bearcat of the match, or man of the match, was Eric Burkett, our number 12. He's really a physical, aggressive player, and he played solid the whole match. But then our number 9, Max Ponce, he delivered just great passes all game, guided our forwards very well. So he did a great match. Roland Musea at the wing, our kick coverage was great. So we were able to tactically kick and put them in bad field position and regain good field position. So that was solid. Grayson came in, Grayson Broom, and controlled the breakdown. A lot of guys really stepped up, played good matches for us. Tomas Musi, our number 10, his best game. He was perfect with his boot, converted 3 penalty kicks. All 4 of his conversions went through. Just a great match for him as well.
That's great. So you got Belmont Abbey coming up this week.
Yes.
Talk about them, talk about the game and the prospects moving forward with the 15s and trying to make the national tournament.
So Belmont Abbey is a similar program. They're part of their athletics department. They have good coach. Nick Withrow does a great job with them. Their back line is pretty big, physical. So I think that's going to be a good matchup for us. They've got a couple of forwards. Their hookers always really good. Their Lucy's play really well. So we know they're going to have a good attack. We know they're going to be well disciplined on defense. So our attack's got to keep its shape. Kind of force them to play our game and keep them from settling into theirs.
Okay. Well, good luck this week and good luck going forward, and we'll catch up with you soon. This has been Thomas Holland for the Bearcat Coaches Show. Fans, join us again next time when we catch up with what's going on in Lander Athletics.